Well, it's great to hear the crew team's doing real well. The head of the Charles Regatta, it's always one of the biggest events of the fall season.
And they really showed up this season.
It's a high point.
Definitely. And moving on, though, we have to go back to the fields from the water this time. Let's take a look at the Yale field hockey team. They've been struggling quite a bit as of late, losing a lot of close games. And this past weekend, they returned home after a 4-game road trip to take on the visiting Penn Quakers. Take a look at how they did. They always play tough, and it was no different this past weekend.
Yale glad to be home after 4 away games and showing the home field energy early. Look at the run by Captain Heather Arrigo. She could go all the no. Penn's goalie Liz Schlossberg there to grab it before Arrigo can shoot. That leads to this penalty corner though, and Arrigo receives and drops it off to Emily Palalonis. The scrappy senior scores her 3rd career goal and 2nd in 2 games to give the Eli's an early lead in this one. Score tied at 1 now in the second half, and Yale on the attack. When assist machine, Harriet Thayer makes a perfect pass in front to Rachel Lentz, who bangs it home. Lentz, her team-leading 5th goal of the year, makes it 2-1. But the lead would not last long as Penn scores 2 goals in the next 9 minutes to go ahead for good 3-2. And despite 9 saves from Elizabeth Friedlander, the Bulldogs are outshot 23-13 as Penn goes on to win it 3-2. The loss is Yale's 4th in a row as they've dropped 6 of their last 7 games after auspicious play early this season. Friedlander was great in goal like always, but the Eli's lost the 50-50 challenges all day as all 3 Quaker goals on the day were scored off rebounds. Yale will try to dust themselves off though and try again as they welcomed in their Connecticut neighbors Quinnipiac on Wednesday night. In their Wednesday night game versus Quinnipiac, the Lady Bulldogs lost to QPAC by a score of 2-1. The only goal for Yale came off a penalty corner in which senior Emily Palalonis fired a pass from Heather Arrigo into the goal in the opening minutes of the second half to tie the score at 1-1. The Bobcats would score the go-ahead and eventual game-winning goal in the mid-second half. Yale loses despite outshooting Quinnipiac 16-9 in the game, including 6 shots off Arrigo's stick alone.
The field hockey team will be back in action at home this Saturday when they take on the visiting Columbia team.
Moving to tennis. The men's tennis team and the women's tennis team both competed in the ITA Regional in Philadelphia over the weekend. They had 5 singles players and 2 doubles players for men, and Brandon Y seeded number 1 in the tournament, and Michael Caldwell both moved past the second round to the round of 32, but both fell in close matches. The young players looked very good, and looks like we have a good future on the team this year. For the women's, Jessica re-advanced all the way to the round of 32 before falling, and Janet Kim went to the round of 16 before losing to the tournament's number 3 seed. Lee and Kim also teamed up in doubles in the match and fell in the quarterfinals to a double squad from Virginia Tech. That concludes fall play for the tennis team, and they'll be back in action in January.
Volleyball had a very big weekend also, going up against Penn and Princeton, the 2 schools in the Ivy League whose names both coincidentally start with P. Anyway, they're currently riding an Ivy League undefeated streak, putting us as one of the great Yale Ivy League teams of recent memory. Very exciting stuff. Let's go straight to the action here against Penn.
Let's get right into the action here against Penn, and ladies and gentlemen, this one was a slaughter. I'm talking an absolute drubbing right there as Laurel Johnson and Allie Mendenhall block. It was pretty much like that all night for the Bulldogs, just dominant performance. Penn really could do very little right here. Alexis Cruzy has another spike, another point for the Yale team here. They look great out there. They really, really look just crisp, top form for volleyball action. Mendenhall with a tricky move there. And here Kristen Wilk even gets into the action, more of a defensive threat, but here she's scoring. Everyone's scoring. Yale takes game 1 easily. And game 2, really no different. Shannon Fairhill has another powerful spike. She had her 1,000th career spike in today's game. Morgan Hume gets in the action now. I mean, everyone's scoring. It's a party out there for Yale. Julia Maylander here has an impressive spike, and Penn just can't stop it. Yale is dominant, overpowering, and it showed all night. Match point now in the third game. The third game was really, really just saddening to watch, and the Bulldogs take the victory here. Quite frankly, that's all you need. 3-0 sweep of the Penn Quakers in very, very workmanlike fashion. A real impressive win, you gotta say, for what you might think is going to be the Ivy League champs this year. We caught up with Shannon Farrell, senior leader, after the win.
It's also, Shannon, a milestone for you tonight, 1,000th career kill. Congratulations, first of all. I mean, we'd love to see you get 1,500, stick around for another year or two. So how's it feel, and reflecting your last 4 years maybe, and you're a milestone now?
Yeah, it feels great. It's actually a relief. It was a little more pressure than I thought it would be coming into tonight. So when I hit the 1,000, it was just kind of like, okay, time to play now. And the last 4 years with Coach Appleman have been absolutely great, and we've kind of grown together and grown the program together. So it's been everything of college volleyball that I could have asked for.
So Coach and Shannon, obviously a huge match tomorrow. We have second place Princeton coming in for a home match. First time we're meeting them this year. How do we feel going into that match? What are we looking for out of Princeton?
Princeton runs a very quick offense, and they're very good defensively. They have the Rookie of the Year last year returning, and they have a great middle blocker, and their setter is very good. So there's a lot of things that they do that we're going to have to prepare for in a very short period of time.
Shannon, are we going to stay undefeated after tomorrow?
Oh, absolutely. I'm every confidence that we're gonna step up after tonight's win and do what we need to do for tomorrow.
Awesome. Best of luck, you guys.
Great.
We pick up the action with, a spike by Shannon Farrell placed perfectly on the back line, but somehow the Princeton defense runs it down. Morgan Hume here has a chance for the conversion on the spike, but unfortunately not so much there. Miss Farrell's solution? Just spike it harder next time. After 2 games, we are in a dogfight, knotted 1 game aside. Third frame now, and unfortunately for Yale, too much of Lindsay Ensign, number 6 here, spiking it not once, but twice over the Yale D for the point. Bulldog Senior is not about to go quietly as Anya Perlebach, the one in the wrong color jersey, gets a crazy dig, followed by a really crisp-looking spike by Shannon Farrell. Really crisp, I'd have to say. Really, really crisp. And this, ladies and gentlemen, this right here, is some quality Division 1A women's volleyball action. Really the sport being played at its finest, hitting the ball back and forth. Back and forth. Back and forth. At this point I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. I'm beside myself. Finally, though, Princeton assassin of Bulldogs extraordinaire, Lindsay Ensign, converts on a back-breaking spike. Princeton goes up 2-1, never looks back. And in the 4th game now, the Yellies a little crestfallen, if you will, as number 7, Sheena Donahue, gets the kill after the Bulldogs fail to convert on 2 spike opportunities. Match point now for the Tigers, and just like that, the Bulldogs' undefeated Ivy season comes to an end. Bob Greasy and Don Chula, go sip on your Cristal. We're not going to be undefeated. I know. It's a really disappointing loss here for the seemingly indefatigable Yale Lady Bulldog volleyball team. Next weekend, the Bulldogs try to rebound, going up against the 2 New York teams, Cornell and Columbia.
Yeah, it really is hard to traverse the jungle of a weekend that is playing the 2 killer P teams. Princeton really showed a lot of grit out there. They looked really scrappy, if you will. They looked very scrappy, ravenous. They had a real will to win. It came through. What would you say, Neil?
Well, definitely from watching that match, you saw a lot of points that Princeton really worked hard to earn, had to be frustrating the team. And also, you can't take away from just the pure skill that Lindsay Ensign, the outside hitter from Princeton, demonstrated. Coach Albman after the match said she was surprised and amazed at how skilled Ensign was, and she definitely single-handedly won that match for Princeton.
You won't be playing a player like that every week, so hopefully Yale will be able to rebound in the future.